How you doing, Kandorians? We're doing, obviously, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And guys, please like, subscribe, comment down below. I'm doing these videos just basically to see where this goes. Because I've noticed I've gotten some decent traction with some of my other live videos, and I want to see where this one gets me. So, we'll see. I like to see some of you guys checking out my videos, please. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very, very, very much. Alright, let's go. A couple of people beating the crap out of each other, so that's not too much from nowadays, is it? Okay, let's go. Let's see if we can. Ooh. Eh. It's all the same, but I'm not gonna toggle headgear. There we go. Bam. I'm getting nothing but legendary items. Okay, so let's. Oh, okay, so there's more. Probably. I figured. Okay, okie dokie. Oh. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, they're going up where I'm going up here. Cool. See if I can find a ship. There we go. I found a ship. If you guys are probably wondering why I'm not swimming across there, it's like, it's a pain. It really is, and slow.
Headed to the house of Odysseus on a tiny boat. Let's try not to piss Poseidon off, shall we?
Yeah. That was a reference to the original Odyssey. If you guys don't know what that means, it basically is this big story of the Odyssey is the story of Odysseus, a Greek hero.
The legendary shroud.
So, not long story short, Odysseus took 10 years from the Trojan War. And he came home basically to figure out how to basically... The entire Odyssey is basically him trying to get home. And he went through a lot of turbulations and stuff. And the big thing is that apparently it took him 10 years because apparently somehow he forgot to put Amish to it. And that's the big story. Why he took so long. Not because the fact that it was practically on the other side of the world. Well, according to the ancient world, anyway. Anyway, so basically, he was basically, he took a long time to get home because he pissed off the god, Poseidon, the god of the sea. And, you know, the only way to get home at the time, obviously, is the sea. And it was like the fastest way to get home. And it took him that long to get home because of the fact that he wanted to get home to see his wife. He was very, very faithful. And according to the story, so was his wife. She was very faithful, and I love the story of it because basically she lined up a whole bunch of axes. And there's these little loops in the axes. I don't know why, because I've never seen axes that have those kind of loops before, but whatever. Anyway, so basically she lined up all those axes, and she basically said, only the man that shot a perfect arrow through all these axes can be the next king of Ithaca. And these men were like, oh, I'm a great archer, and it's like, mind you, she knew there was only one man that can actually do it, and for some weird reason, she had faith that eventually this would basically stall them, right? And it did initially. Except this is the part that I love the story about. So she does that, and you know, everybody tries and fails. Everybody thinks it's a scam. Like nobody can do it. You know, it's that old shtick. You know, it's like, hey, you're just stalling. You gotta be. You gotta have a husband to rule this. It's not like a woman can rule, right, folks? I'm being sarcastic here, guys. Of course, a woman could rule. A woman could rule faster, better than most men anyway, under most circumstances. There's obviously circumstances that, you know, I'm not saying men are better. No. Under certain circumstances, that's a different story. Some women are better under those circumstances. Some men are better than others. The point is, depends on the circumstances. It would be better for certain people to rule. Whether I can explain that to you is probably a no. Anyway, so any further than that, like everybody just basically got pissed off. They hated the fact that, they hated the fact that they were being outdone by this woman. They just basically got pissy and said, "Hey, you have to choose one of us to marry." And it's like, well, I told you, the only one I'm gonna marry is the one that can do this challenge. It's like, nobody can do this challenge, shouted one guy in the group. And then one old man comes and says, it's like, let me try, Missy. And of course, trying to be fair, she basically let him do it, right? Here's the thing. Whether or not she knew it was her husband in disguise or whatever, she just let it happen. And everybody starts laughing. And obviously the old conjurer, the disguised, mind you, he was disguised. The old man shot through all axes, right? The all axe handles, and everybody was shocked, and it's like, wait, what's going on? And basically, he basically reveals himself to be Odysseus, the king of Ithaca. Everybody is like completely in utter shock that they were duped or whatever, and it's like, wait, it's like, hey, I thought you were, you were in war and whatever, you were lost at sea, you were gone for 10 years, whatever. It's like, well, I'm back, and I see you were taking care of my wife. Thank you, appreciate that. Now, you guys can go away. Of course, the guys just did not want to take no for an answer, obviously. Like, it was like, they all were like, oh, come on. So they challenged him, and they lost. Long story short, he took out everybody there, right? Everybody was taken out. No, not to a lunch. He basically killed everyone because, A, they were all trying to mosey up to his girl, and whatever. He didn't like the idea of men going after her, so he basically killed them all. But like I said, he proved that, ingenuity was smart, because his entire trip proved it. See, Odysseus, he was a great warrior, but he was most famous for his brains. My favorite stories was basically him, and this is during the Odyssey. He went up to a Cyclops. Yeah, he was trapped at an island with a Cyclops that was basically a man-eater. He knew because he saw some of his men get eaten by this said Cyclops. So he... So... Sorry, my brain. So basically, he, Odysseus, he saw the opportunity. He saw that the only ones that are leaving the, this Cyclops cave was the sheep that he had. Yeah, apparently this Cyclops had a big thing about sheep, and so he hatched a plan to pretend to be sheep. How? Well, if I remember correctly, I think he took some of those sheep, right? Like, while the Cyclops was sleeping. I don't remember how. Like, I think he had some kind of, like, wool, and he packed it together. I don't remember the actual full story of that, but, like, somehow he collected enough sheep for all his men and himself, and he basically played the old, I'm a sheep thing, as they were walking out. The Cyclops was, feeling it out. It's like, oh, wool, okay, cool, my sheep, go, and the Odysseus somehow got out, but one of his men did not. So so the Cyclops got really angry, obviously, you know, because like, hey, you're trying to get a, you know, trying to pull a fast one on me, and you know, Odysseus had to think fast again, and that's kind of his shtick. So what he did was he grabbed a red hot poker from the fire and stuck it in the Cyclops' eye. The one thing I loved about it was he stuck it in the eye, and the Cyclops, obviously angry and injured, basically started crying out, who's there? Who did this to me? Who did this to me? And of course, being somehow, this is my favorite part of the whole Odyssey thing, like one of them anyway. He basically looked up and told the Cyclops, nobody did this to you. And the part that made me laugh above anything was the fact that Cyclops took it as the word. So if the other Cyclops is basically asked, "What the hell? What happened to you? What was like? How'd you get blinded?" Well, nobody did this to me. Wait, what? Yeah, nobody did this to me, and that was a kind of a bad joke on their part. That. Yeah, so basically, he told his brethren that nobody did it to him, and then I'm like laughing my butt off, going, "Wow, dude!" When I heard this story, so that's just my personal. I don't know if you guys will take it the same kind of joke as me, but what can I say?
I'd be happy.
Oh, it was great. It was one of my favorite stories as a kid. Yes, I heard it as a kid, and you know, obviously as a child, loving those kind of stories, it just, you know, really packed. You know.
My thanks. I can't believe I let those malakes sneak up on me.
Ithaca is a dangerous place to wander around on your own.
You are wandering around on your own. You're right. I can't fight a camp of bandits by myself. Could you help me to get to Odysseus' palace? I can pay.
I'll help you get to the palace.
Well, I'm in luck then. What do I call you?
Cassandra.
I'm Odessa, named after the great Odysseus.
We should head to the palace while we have the chance.
I mean, honestly, dude, the story of Odysseus was like one of my favorite fables, because I mean, it's hard not to love stories of impossible tasks done by ordinary people, you know. Odysseus was he wasn't exactly a demigod, he wasn't a god, he wasn't blessed or anything. The only thing that he had was his brains and you know, everything else like that. And I have full respect for those kind of stories, because it just tells me that, you know, if you do things the right way, then
Not at all. Take me to my boat. I'll pay you there.
so basically it just says to me that even ordinary people could be heroes if you know, done right, you know. And it's one of my favorite fairy tales, not fairy tale, yeah, it's a fairy tale myth. Whether or not it ever happened is a different story. The Cyclops, I don't know about that. You know, it's not that I don't believe in mythology, it's just I've always thought, if it ever did exist, if the monsters and myths and all that thing were actually true, then, and my personal strong opinion is, where is all the evidence of it all? You know, like what happened to all the you know, like if there was a version of a monster or of a, here's the thing, they have found scientific proof of certain oddities in nature. Mind you, they never really found anything like... They found giant skeletons of certain lizard-like creatures. I've heard that they were described like dragons, and I said, okay, so is it a dragon? Yeah, like literally, it's the scientific community is like that. It's like basically saying, I couldn't tell you yes or no. It's like, then why do you even bring it up? It's like, well, because I love the possibility. Everybody loves the possibility. Hell, that's one of the reasons why I love myths so much, is because myths, a lot of times, they just prove, they just give stories to... They just give stories to those, you know, non-described actions and things upon the world, like nature and things like that. That's why I love myths, because in a way I believe them, but at the same time I want proof.
This is for you. Such a disappointment.
Why is that place so important to you?
Are you joking? Odysseus lived there, ruled there. He ended the Trojan War, eluded Scylla and Charybdis. He had everything. Loyalty, love, fighting spirit.
He had the attention of the gods, too. That caused him a lot of trouble.
And it made him a legend.
You look cute right now. As if nothing can get in your way.
I don't usually like being called cute.
There are a few other ones I can think of that would suit you.
I can't wait to hear them.
How about beautiful? That works even better. The other ones will come later.
I hope later comes soon.
So what do you think?
I think I was in a much poorer mood before now. There's just so much I desire. To be as great as Odysseus. Where do I even begin?
If you want Odysseus' greatness, you have to do it your own way. He was famous because of his cunning. What have you done?
I've traveled all the way here.
To see the ruins of Odysseus' life, not to live your own.
I should know better than to take advice from a mercenary. Leave me.
Mind you, I easily could have just done the other way, but it's fine. Like, the one thing I loved about the stories, some of my, like I said, some of my favorite stories were Greek mythology. Not all of them are Greek. Like, some of my favorite stories belong to other cultures. I love stories like Egyptian mythologies, things like that. My favorite of all time stories are mostly just stories that I heard, you know, the romanticized Disney versions, obviously. Everybody loves those, but did it ever occur to you folks that some of those stories are watered down? Yeah, no kidding. Some of those stories are way worse than what the actual thing happened. Sometimes when it comes to telling a story, sometimes some parts are omitted, other parts are just completely taken out, and other parts are just completely cleaned up. In other words, yeah, you gotta be careful who you trust in these kind of situations. Your source is as good as the story, you know what I mean?
Cassandra? Good news, I hope.
Safe and sound.
Well done. And now the shroud is yours.
You don't want it? After all that?
I gained something more valuable today. For your troubles, Miss Fierce.
If I knew any better, I'd think you were testing me.
Perhaps. You did well, Miss Fierce. Tell me, how do you feel about killing a general in Megaris? Do this for me and earn double what you earned today. Are you up to the task? It would take you far away from Kefalonia. So far away you might never...
Generals bleed like anyone else.
Good. What do you say?
I accept.
Splendid.
Of course.
Good. I hope it's sturdy.
And you won't be disappointed.
When...
I need a boat. I should go see the shipbuilder.
I see we got a bud. How you doing, whoever you are? I don't mind getting talking to you. Just put out your message and we'll have a little chat. Thank you for your interest.
It's a fine ship, Tegumenes.
Cassandra! She is that. Ready to ride the waves for the right captain and the right price.
I really need a boat, Tegumenes.
Everyone in Kefalonia needs a boat. Or passage on one. You've seen this shithole.
All my life.
Even if I had a boat, who's going to row it? You! I'd give my left grape to see that.
This is Kefalonia. I could always find someone down on their luck and willing to work for next to nothing to get off this island.
The seas are treacherous now. Well, more than usual. It would be suicide.
You're not being very helpful, Tegumenes.
Not sure if this helps, but rumor has it the Cyclops is coming for you and Marcos.
How's that helpful?
That monster's held Kefalonia captive for too long. I figure if anyone could finally rid us of his stench, it would be you.
Tegumenes, What does this have to do with my need for a boat?
Rumor also has it the Cyclops has docked his ship in Kleptus Bay.
His ship, you say? I'll have to pay Kleptus Bay a visit.
Be careful. That one-eyed brute has a nasty temper.
So I can take his ship and deal with the Cyclops at the same time. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Literally. The reason I say that is because my last mission on this, and I did that mission earlier on this account, is I basically stole his obsidian eye. So literally one stone, 2 birds. Done. So rumor has it you're in trouble. It's like, yeah, well, what else is new? All right, I forgot. I just remembered how to what I was supposed to do. And there we go.
Off we go now.
And what's the name of the horse? Phobos.
Try to stay out of sight.
Phobos. Why would I call it Phobos? I didn't. It did. It named itself. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, when they gave me a horse in the beginning of the game, they basically said, "Hell, the name is Phobos. No matter what horse I pick, it's fucking Phobos." Whether it's a reference to a god or some kind of demi, I don't know. Have no clue. Again, it's not my, like, I don't know everything about these guys. I really don't. I know a lot of them, but a lot of it is just, a lot of it is common knowledge. If you really want to look at it, guys, I'd recommend it. It's fascinating. Definitely fascinated me when I was a kid. Okay. Ah, found it. Yeah. Star Observatory. Why is there a star observatory? I'm not kidding. Of course, there's a star observatory. I mean, a lot of times when you see the stars, they reference certain myths. It's like you're not supposed to be up here. Well, pooey.
hope no one notices me here.
The gods as my witness, I swear!
Which one?
What difference does it make?
Which difference does it make?
All of them, I swear, all of them!
I have never so much fucking god talk from one man in all my days.
Let him go.